Hi guys, and welcome to another Dragonheir Silent God video. Another boss for the Chaos Shadows. The bosses for the Otherworld exploration that we are fighting at the moment on my server. If your server is few days ahead or behind, you're probably gonna have them passed or they're gonna open up for you soon. You're gonna have to fight 6 bosses of 6 different affinities. I'm trying to put out guides on how to beat them with achievable comms or relatively achievable comms. And today we're going to have a look at the lightning boss, the boss that takes 50% more damage from lightning. I had the inspiration for this comm from a video from Scratch, which is another content creator that covered this game. He came out with this composition, with this lineup, and it was very, very interesting for me. So I tried play around with the champions I have and the gear I have, and I have barely made it to 22 million. He's doing it with full affinity bonuses and with the witches remain and another piece of legendary artifact. I don't have any legendary artifact, so for me it has been a little bit more challenging, to say at least. Just before the disclaimer, I have full bonuses from my clan. We unlocked all the bonuses from the Otherworld exploration, and I have the elemental affinity damage reduction 10% for lightning and radiance, and the 10% more crit damage dealt from lightning and radiant. So if you're comparing my stats with this, if you have more affinity bonus, good for you. Otherwise, you might not be able to deal the same amount of damage. But let me show you the composition, the placement, and the gear, because it's very important. All of these components are very important for the fight, and for me, it has been very, very difficult to being able to find the right balance between damage and survivability. So on this fight, you're going to fight Errich. Errich has an ultimate skill that hits 5 times in a small area. So you need to trick the boss to hit only certain champion. So the way you're going to place your champions, as Scratch has shown, is this way. So basically, you're going to use Catherine as your tank. As you can see from the purple beam, she is the one that's going to trick the boss to attack only her. And basically, the second one that's going to be hit is Quarian. As you can see, there is a yellow beam coming through him. And so these 2 champions are the 2 that are going to take every hit from the boss. Therefore, they need to be very tanky and be able to sustain a lot of damage. The boss hits incredibly hard, and it's very difficult to stay alive enough to do the damage. This has been my problem, because I have enough damage from my 2 Dauntless champion. They do an incredible amount of damage per minute, but I'm not staying alive enough to usually get to the 22 millions. It's very unreliable, and I need to hope that Quarian doesn't do his skills in the wrong position. And so sometimes I need to manual the skills from the 2 healers and be sure that they top up the heal of each other. So Catherine is scrolled, and she's going to provide healing and debuff immunity. Debuff immunity is irrelevant. And she's going to heal and provide defense up on her battle skill. She's geared with the Platinum 9 shield to help her take less damage, and she's geared with the Radiance of the Blue Oak set to increase the healing she provides. I've tried to push as much defense and HP as I could with my gear, but my gear pretty much sucks. The other tank, or pseudo tank, is going to be Quarian. I've tried to push as much skill haste as possible on him to try to have his ultimate to come around as quick as possible. You need to heal back Catherine and heal himself. So he has a very short recharge time. And with the use of the Spiritual Incense Burner, he's going to gain 10% of that recharge time back. Also, to notice, this one is 10% of your recharge time. So the quicker is the recharge time, the least impactful is for you. So it's going to be 1.4 seconds, which is still quite a lot, and it does the difference on this fight. But obviously, if you have a slow recharging skill, it's going to be much more impactful for you. So as I said, 2 pieces of the 3 healers and 2 pieces of the troll. So he has 46 skill haste, not a lot coming from the rune, unfortunately, but is there to heal each other with Catherine. On the back corner, I'm using Irina. Irina is going to provide the decreased attack. This is going to be time to hitting the boss exactly before his ultimate. Otherwise, it's going to destroy my champion. And she's going to provide also the increased attack for my 2 melee champion to do the damage. She is bringing as well a little bit of damage. She's built with some crit rate, attack and crit damage. Not much, but she's doing some damage and she helps achieving the target. Now, when it comes to the 2 damage dealer, I had to use 2 legendaries because I've tried other composition. I couldn't get there. I couldn't get the damage. I couldn't get anywhere close to 22 million. And so recently I've been quite lucky to pull these 2 Dauntless legendary, and so I've built them. But they are not scrolled. Neither of them is scrolled. And I don't have any legendary gear to get them to do more damage. And so I've built Garrett with the Manticore statue to give more attack. Is built in Gambler set. The Gambler set is going to do extra 5% target max HP damage. He has 30% to trigger that. It hits 5 times, so that bonus is going to be possibly placed multiple times. And same goes for Suta. Suta as well is not a scroll. She has the Eye of the Giant to push her attack as high as possible. She is crit cap 100% because I'm trying to take advantage of her passive. So every time she crits, she manifests a phantom that does 100% attack lightning damage to the enemy. And so I've tried to take advantage as much as possible of that as well. We are using the crit damage aura from Garrett. The speed aura, unfortunately, is not usable because it's dungeon only from Suta, and therefore it's not usable for this fight. I'm going to play the clip right after this, and even if I'm using 2 legendary, I think you could try to do something similar if you're lucky to have better gear than me, and if you had lucky enough to have artifact, legendary artifact. There are many champions, many Dauntless champions you can use. I believe the 2 main epic possibility to replace them are going to be Shagrold and Shaltar and Shagrold. So it's difficult to pronunciate. Shagrold and Shaltar. They're both Dauntless. They both deal a good amount of damage, and if you have, they are easier to scroll. Obviously, it's easier to come around with epic scrolls. The builds are going to be pretty much the same. The only difference might be that Shagrold or Shaltar passive does damage by himself, is not a hit, so you could consider to use the artifact, the RP. I think is the RP. Let me see. I forgot the name. I believe is this one, the Harping Hails, which increase the damage granted from passive. You can try use that one and see if it helps achieving the damage you need. But for me, having those two champions, I've preferred to build them and see if it was possible to do with them. So let me show you the clip, and if you like the content, guys, please like and subscribe. It will help the channel, and I see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silent Gods.